It's the word. Finally see another trucker. Welcome. Salute to all the subscribers. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. I got a question. Well, first, let me just give a quick description of what I am. It's for people who been watching my channel. They know what it is, but if you're new to the channel, I have my own truck leased onto a company. So I get confused with some of these terms. I don't know, what would I be? A lease operator? Owner operator? I don't know. But I just say that I have my own truck leased onto a company. So my question with that is, am I really my own boss? Or am I a glorified company driver? And I ask this question because there are some things that's been going on lately with my company that's really been hurting my feelings. It's really been hurting my feelings. And as you know, if you watch my channel, once again, I don't bash companies. Never have, never will. The topics that I want to discuss is really not about my company. It's really just about the concept of the system, but these situations that occurred that's been bothering me, that really hurt my feelings that happened with my company. So just some things I want to discuss. It's a polite rant, and I'm gonna be as diplomatic as possible and be very respectful and be mindful of what I say in this video. But it's two main things. The first thing, last month I had to take my truck in for a 90-day inspection. 90-day inspection. So, drop my truck off at the yard, or, when I came in for my last load, while my truck was in the yard, we got it scheduled for the mechanics at the yard to do the inspection on my truck. So while they was doing the inspection on my truck, I get a text from my DM saying that they took the steering wheel knob off my steering wheel. If you don't know what that is, that's the knob that truckers use that they attach to their steering wheel. This right here, it make it easier for you to turn the steering wheel. So I had this on my steering wheel, and I got a text from my DM saying that the shop took this off my steering wheel because it was illegal, and they gave it to my terminal manager. And I remember when I got that text, man, the inside of my body was engulfed in flames. Yeah. I really wanted to go off. I wanted to go off. And when I seen that text, all I can do was just stare at it. Put the phone down, kept picking up and just looking at it like, is this for real? I wanted to go off because the way that I felt was, how dare a person come inside the property that I pay for, the property that I maintain, and put their hands on anything that I'm responsible for. I don't have a problem with nobody telling me like, hey, you can't have that on your steering wheel, it's illegal. Cool. But to do an inspection on my truck and take it off, to take it upon yourself to put your hands on my belongings, I got a problem with that. So when I seen that text, I was heated. I was hot. But I didn't, I didn't put up no fuss about it. She told me that, I just said okay. But I was hot. What's funny too? I remember a while ago, this was before this particular time where I got this inspection, but somebody in the comment section was like, that's illegal. Somebody just popped up in the comment section of one of my videos was like, that steering wheel knob is illegal. And I remember that, so I went and looked it up. And federally, it is not illegal, but I guess all depending on what state or what city, this can be illegal, depending on what state you in. So if you got one of these and whatever, it can be illegal in some cities or states. It all just depends on where you at. But federally across the board, it's not illegal to use this on your steering wheel. And I also seen a clip of a DOT officer doing an inspection and telling somebody that this was illegal. Now, I didn't see what city they was in, but yeah, so I didn't really put up a fight, man. I didn't even try to put up a fight. I just told them okay, and went on here and calmed down within myself and let it be. And probably like a week ago, my dispatcher told me like, hey, if you want your knob back, just whenever you come back to the yard, you can come see me and come get it. I'm like, okay, but by that time I ain't even care about it no more. I done got back used to using my steering wheel the way it is. You know what I'm saying? And I guess it's illegal. They got a nickname for it. I don't know if they call them suicide knobs or something like that, but I guess it's been reports that sometimes some of these things can just pop off while you're using it, while you turning it, something like that. I don't know, but when I went to go pick up this load that I'm on right now, and I got the paperwork out of my little mailbox, she put it in my mailbox. Thank you, but I'm not really tripping on it. It is what it is. So yeah, that in recent times, you know what I'm saying? That right there, that pissed me off. Probably like a week and a half ago, once again, going to pick up one of my loads, get the paperwork out the mailbox. Got a letter in there. A letter for me from safety to my terminal about me concerning personal conveyance. And in a letter that said that, please tell your driver they can't go on personal conveyance when they're in the sleeper berth. They have to be off duty when they use their personal conveyance. Cool. But I've been having issues with my company when it comes to personal conveyance since I started. I done had my personal conveyance suspended a couple times, probably 2 or 3 times. And each time, I think one time they took it for a month or 30 days, and probably the other 2 times it got suspended. It was 90 days. Now, I ain't gonna lie, you know what I'm saying? Before I came to this particular company, yes, you know what I'm saying, the way that I've used PC at certain times, I guess you can consider it abuse, you know what I'm saying? I never rolled for hours and hours on PC, but you run out of time and you coming back to the yard or wherever you started from. Yeah, I use my PC. But it is legal ramifications to that that's legal and illegal. So anyway, so I got that letter. It irritated me. Because like I say, I've been having issues with this company since day one when it comes to personal conveyance. There's always something with the personal conveyance. Always something, dog. Always something. So seeing that letter, it really kind of pissed me off. But I'm like, all right, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So technically all this stuff is DOT laws, because I went and looked that up. And yeah, it's the law. When you use your personal conveyance, you had to be off duty. I didn't really think that it was a big deal. You know what I'm saying? The other couple times that I got my personal conveyance suspended, I think one time I used my personal conveyance on my off day. And when you use your personal conveyance, you got to get a reason why you're using it. So I'm like, the reason I put was I'm taking it to the shop. And they suspended me for that. Because supposedly anytime you take your truck to get worked on or anything like that, you're supposed to be on duty for that. So I got suspended, or they suspended and took my PC away from me for 3 months for that. And it was another time, just in the beginning, you know, like I said, I was kind of used to having a couple little bad habits with my PC, so they got me straight after a while. But it's just like after 3 years, man, it's just always something. It's just still something. It's just like whoever, I know who it is, you know what I'm saying? I don't blame my company, but it's just how the system works within companies. So this is the same lady that works in the safety department. Is always this particular lady, you know, and just the way I feel overall, it's just like, I don't know, they pick and choose who they want to bother. I don't know. So anyway, that's that. So this was like a couple weeks ago, a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, with this letter that I got about using my PC while I'm in the sleeper berth. So then yesterday, I get a call from my dispatcher telling me it's another issue about the PC. Telling me that the way that the last time that I used my PC, that I'm not supposed to use it that way. I got a run that I usually make, you know what I'm saying? I go to Kansas, the state of Kansas. So like, I leave on a Wednesday, deliver Thursday morning, and be back Thursday night. All using PC though. Because I was always under the impression that if you coming back to your yard with an empty trailer, that you could use your PC. That's the impression that I was always under. And I've been running this particular load within the other loads that I've been running, and you know what I'm saying? In the dedicated runs that I've been doing this shit for 3 years. So with this particular load, I go to Kansas, head out on a Wednesday afternoon, I'll be back Thursday night. And I probably run out of time like anywhere. It just all depends on traffic and stuff like that, but I'll probably run out of time anywhere between 15 to 30 minutes before I hit the yard. So I think the limit, because each company, when it comes to PC, it's up to the company's discretion on how many miles that you can use the PC. So I think mine is like 50 miles or something like that. I don't know. But I don't abuse it. You know what I'm saying? If I run out of time and I got 15 miles to go, I use it then. You know what I'm saying? So I've been doing this for the past 3 years. I don't abuse my PC. You know, I've learned early on how to properly use it. But it's just like I say, it's always something. So supposedly I've been using the PC wrong. The last time that I used it for this Kansas run, I used it the wrong way. So I had to go look it up. And yeah, I went and looked at the details and went and looked at the law in the DOT book and found out that see, it's a gray area, because what I seen in the DOT book, which applies to me, when you're under a load or when you under a dispatch, even bringing the empty trailer back, I'm still under the dispatch. You know what I'm saying? I'm not necessarily relieved from my duties technically and legally until I drop that trailer off and I'm clocked out, done. But as I'm bringing this empty trailer back, I'm still under the dispatch, which means that if I'm still on duty for the job, that is illegal for me to go on PC. Because I always thought, hey, if you got the empty trailer, especially if you got an empty trailer and you're returning back to the yard, that you could go on PC. You know what I'm saying? In situations like that, you might run out of time or whatever. So once again, you know, I went and looked it up, and you know, analyze the stipulations and everything. So I guess the company, they was right. What can I say? But as my DM was telling me about it, I was laying in the bed. And I remember she was telling me, she was like, you know, they really don't even want you to, and it ain't my dispatcher's fault. This ain't got nothing to do with her. You know, she's just a messenger. Dispatchers, they don't, you know what I'm saying? They don't make no rules or no shit like that. So she was telling me like, yeah, you know, I'm telling her like, well, I've been doing this for the past 3 years, just like this. Why is it all of a sudden they want to pinpoint and pick out stuff now? Or this particular person, because there's always this one lady, because all these letters that I get through the years and all these issues with the personal conveyance, there's one lady's name behind all this, which I won't say, you know what I'm saying? But still. And she was just like, you know, they really don't even want you to even use PC. And I just got silent. It was just a dead silence while we was on the phone. That really depressed me. It really depressed me, dog. So I'm like, all right, you know, okay, cool. I ain't put up too much of a fight. And once I got off the phone, man, all I could do was just sit up in my bed. Oh no, I wasn't sitting up. I just continued. I just laid down on my pillow and just stared up at the ceiling, fam. I just was staring at the ceiling for a few minutes, just staring. Like, once again, I'm in flames. I'm in flames, and my feelings is hurt. My feelings is hurt because I don't like nobody telling me what to do. I do have a problem with somebody micromanaging what I'm doing that don't do what I do. I do have a problem with somebody micromanaging what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, when they don't know nothing about what I go through out here on this road, or what we go through as truck drivers out here on this road. I got a real problem with that. And it really, really bothers me. It bothers me. It burns me up. But since I'm a level-headed person and I'm logical, or I apply logic and wisdom and understanding the situations, I can't do nothing but just take it with a grain of salt. Can't do nothing but take it with a grain of salt. Because the truth of the matter is, I'm running under this company's numbers. I have to go by their rules and their regulations. It ain't nothing I can do about it. What I'm gonna do, go up in there and try to go up in the office and waste my time trying to argue my point, because all this stuff I looked up and it's there, you know. But just on a, I don't want to say moral, but just on a humane note, it's like, why you, this person, you know what I'm saying? Why you keep bothering me with this petty shit? It's just how I feel. And you know what's funny? I had a DOT inspection the other day. 2 days ago, I had a DOT inspection on I-57 in Illinois. I'm going north on 57. I'm probably like at the scale that I got pulled in at, this scale is probably like anywhere between an hour and a half outside of Effingham. So anybody that know I-57 going to Effingham, you know that area or whatever. That, I forgot what exit it was, but that scale house going northbound on 57 while I was heading towards Effingham, Illinois. So they pulled me in, and the DOT officer, man, he was cool. He was real cool, man. I passed level 2 inspection. He could have dinged me though. He could have dinged me. I didn't have no paperwork when I was coming back. I didn't have no BOL when I was coming back with this empty trailer, because I was coming back from Texas. And this particular run, I take a loaded trailer down to Texas drop that trailer off with the paperwork for whoever the next driver is, and I pick up the empty trailer and run back. I've been doing it like that for a few, you know what I'm saying? I've been running this run for a minute too. And I didn't have no paperwork. I didn't have no BOL because the paperwork that they give me is just enough for the driver. You know what I'm saying? 2 BOLs, 2 sets of paperwork, and that's for the driver who's gonna finish that load off for the customer and the driver, whatnot. So, but that was my fault though. That's my fault. I didn't have no picture because usually, like when we had to fill out the paperwork on our app, on the dispatch, and you know what I'm saying, go through the prompts, and then we got to take a picture of the bill of lading. For some reason, I forgot to even take a picture of the BOL. So, you know, even when you carrying an empty trailer and it's hazmat and it's placard, you know, it got placards on it, you supposed to always have paperwork for that trailer. Just, you know, just to let y'all know. So, you know, the officer, he did, you know what I'm saying? I was able to, you know, hit up my dispatcher while I was talking with the officer, and, you know, she was able to get a copy of the BOL, email it to him, email it to me, whoop-de-woo. So he did his inspection, everything was cool, man. And just on the side note, you know, I noticed out of 3 inspections that I've had, 2 of them I passed, 1 of them, you know, they hit me with the lightweight. One of the brake lights on the trailer weren't working, or the blinking light, something like that, something real minor. But all situations was pretty cool, man. Just a side note, man. A lot of times, man, the type of energy that you give off with these DOT officers is going to dictate or depict how your experience is going to go with them. So my advice, man, just be cool. You know, be professional, because I think they're going to treat you how you treat them. And I always treat them with respect. You know, I've been dealing with law enforcement since I was a kid, fam. Since I was 16 years old and got my first car, I've been in the face of police since I was 16. So I know how to deal with law enforcement. Hey, man, just keep it cool. Like I say, this DOT officer, man, he could have gave me a violation for that paperwork, but he let me slide. And besides that, I passed with flying colors. So anyway, so yeah, after my clean inspection, you know, that's the day after that is when my dispatcher hit me up telling me what the lady in safety done said about the last time how I used my personal conveyance. And it's just like, man, you just can't win out here, dog. It's just like, yeah, I'm ranting. I'm gonna complain. You know what I'm saying? I'm being human right now. The shit is irritating. It's irritating. I got a problem. Like, as truckers, man, if we compare this to being in a battlefield, like, man, you've been out here for a while, man. We are decorated soldiers. I know I am. I am a decorated soldier. Who is a person that don't know nothing about what I'm doing to sit up here and play God and try to govern and micromanage how I'm moving out here? In my equipment. I have a problem with that. But what can you do? What can you do? I've heard the term glorified company driver. When you leased on, especially like if you lease a truck through a company, it's even when you leased on. I got my own truck leased on to a company, and you still have to abide by their rules. Whatever their rules and regulations is, you still are under the structure of their protocol. So am I really my own boss? Or am I just a glorified company driver? Me personally, I've always accepted things as what they are. That's why I never call myself a boss, because I ain't there yet. I'm bossing up, but I'm not a boss just because I got my own truck. Because I'm leased on to somebody else's company and I have to follow their rules. Now, like I said, I'm not shitting on my company. This ain't no shade towards my company. But I do have a problem with the systematic way how things go. You know what I'm saying? And this ain't just in trucking. This can be anywhere. It's always like that. It's always people creating rules that don't do what you do or don't really know nothing about what you do. It's always like that. But on a positive note, though, the only thing that this does is continue to give me the fuel to keep leveling up and keep bossing up. It's little shit. Like little shit like this adds fuel to my fire to keep bossing up. Even at the last job that I worked at, when I worked for Food Liner, once again, you know, these are just, no company is perfect. No matter where you go, it's gonna always be some issues. You know what I'm saying? No company is perfect, but like I say, from the very beginning, I always knew I was gonna get my own truck. But just along the way, were pivotal epiphanies and reminders. It's just like, okay, man, you gotta level up, dog. And I remember when I worked for Food Liner, man, 3 things. It was a lot of things that was irritating me, but it was 3 main things that really bothered me, that really touched my soul as a man. You know, I remember one time, man, I had 2 deaths in the family. They was like back to back, like probably like a couple months apart. One of my aunties passed away and one of my cousins had got killed a couple months apart from each other. And I needed to be at these funerals. So I remember the first time I had to abruptly get some time off or get that day off to go to my auntie's funeral, cool. Then I had to go right back for my cousin's funeral. And I just remember my terminal manager at that time, man, he expressed his displeasure with me taking time off like that. You know, and it's like, well, hey, man, this is my family. You know, I get it. You know, I'm expected to be at work. But that's the harsh part of life out here, man. Don't nobody this is why I always say, dog, don't nobody give a fuck about you. Nobody cares about you, your kids, your family. They don't give a fuck about you. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. I understand. It's business. I don't even hold it against him or anybody else in that position. But yeah, he had something to say about me coming right back needing another day off for my cousin's funeral. And that bothered me as a man because important situations like that, I don't have time to be asking no other man for permission on how to use my time. So that was something that really lit my fuel. That was something that really lit my fuel to continue to stay on the road and get my own shit. Another thing that lit the fuel to my fire when I worked at Food Liner, once again, like I say, I'm not bashing the company, but as drivers, as humans, we all got things that irritate us at times. So one thing Food Liner had that I did not like, they had the slip seat shit. So where if you take time off, somebody else can use your truck. You might have to use somebody else's truck. And it was often when I used to take time off, I come back, my truck be gone. And I got to get in somebody else's truck. That shit used to piss me off. That shit really used to bother me. I did not like that slip sheet shit. And that's another thing that helped push me prematurely to get my own shit. I did not like this shit, fam, because you in these trucks. Even when you a company driver, your truck is your home. That's your domain. You know what I'm saying? You got shit set up in your space the way that you want it. Your spirit, your vibe is in this space. And when you come back to work, somebody else got your truck. Now you gotta go hop in somebody else's shit, man. That shit used to piss me off. I never wanted my own truck just to say that I was a boss, but little shit like that are things that light the fuel to my fire to continue bossing up. And even right now, having to keep hearing this shit about this personal conveyance. Somebody that's sitting in the office that don't know nothing about what I go through, fucking with me. That shit, it just lights the fuel to my fire to continue bossing up. Real talk. You know, I'm not saying that tomorrow I'm gonna go get my own authority, but it's starting to become more and more prevalent to me in my mind. You know, here and there I get flashes. You know how you envision things? And I have things float through my imagination. You know, I envision myself having my own authority, doing this hazmat tanker shit. I think this shit is a little bit more different. It's definitely different than having your own authority with doing drive-in or reefer or some shit like that. It's you know, some extra steps, extra shit we got to deal with. We got to get trailers washed, and you got to pay for it. I think a trailer wash, I don't know, somebody know about this, I might be mistaken, but getting your trailer washed, that costs hundreds to maybe over $1,000 or something like that per wash. I don't know, something like that. So you got more things to worry about. See, right now, the trailer that I'm carrying, it got somebody else's name on there. And here and there, I envision myself, when I think about the possibilities of me having my own authority and hazmat tanker, yeah, I get the vision of seeing my own truck with a trailer attached to that truck with no name on there that belong to me. I see that vision. I see flashes of it. But this last incident when my dispatcher calling me about what this lady in the safety department said about my PC, man, when I was sitting up there laying in my bed and looking at the ceiling, I clearly seen my own truck with my own trailer and my own authority. The vision just stuck in my head. But you know what? The more you boss up, the more bullshit you got to deal with. Because I can go try to run and go get my own authority. And guess who I got to deal with then? The insurance companies. I don't know about y'all, man, but for me, that's what I'm talking about when I talk about sovereignty. Fighting for your sovereignty. I don't know what's sovereignty to you or freedom to you, but all I know is I don't like nobody telling me what to do. I don't have a problem with authority. I don't have a problem with being a team player. I don't have a problem with being a follower if I have to be. If I'm being part of a group effort with a leader that know more than me, okay, I know how to fall back and play my part. But when it comes to certain things, man, especially like right now, fam, like trucking is a tough industry. You know, and to be in this industry as long as I have, and thus far through the shit that I've been through, man, it's hard for me to, in my soul and in my heart and in my spirit, to accept somebody that sits in a cozy office playing God over what I'm doing out here on this tough terrain. I'm in the trenches. We truckers are in the trenches. And you got somebody that don't know nothing about what you doing, ain't never got no dirt under their fingernails, ain't never did shit out here. Micromanaging your life out here. I got a problem with that. But you know what? The only thing you can do, man, is let shit that bother you fuel your fire. And the things that's bothering me right now, I'm just gonna let it fuel my fire, man, to continue moving in the direction that I've been moving in, and to tighten up in some areas. Yeah, it's time to make some more adjustments. But like I said, though, I ain't mad at my company, man. My company overall, you know, they treat me fair. You know, I'm able to do what I need to do with them. I don't have no problems with them, but it's just the systematic way things are done. and really even above that lady that worked in the safety department, it's really insurance that does this shit. You know what I'm saying? So we always got somebody to answer to. So I'm just gonna keep letting the shit fuel my fire to keep bossing up, man. That's really it. So that would be my advice to you. This was just my testimony, my little soft rant. But if you could take something from this, man, whatever is irritating you out here, you know, especially if you got a vision, man, just let that shit fuel your fire, dog. Just let it fuel your fire. So, yeah, Vonnie EC, man. Y'all be easy. I'm gone.